And welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things Transformers and Transformers action figure related, and today we're going to be taking a look at Newage's latest figure, and this is their take on Ultra Magnus. Finally it's made its way to my doorstep and it is looking like a winner, baby. First of all, as we like to do, let's check a quick look at the box art, and as always, Newage have just knocked it right out the park here. So we have Magnus himself there, or Octavian, as they are calling him, number 28. Stuff I can't read, stuff I can't read, stuff I can't read, stuff I can't read. I'm guessing it says Octavian and something about Newage. It's part of the Legendary Heroes line. And then we have a picture of Magnus himself, looking super cool there. On the side here, we have City Commander Octavian. Very cool. Nice callback to the fact that he was the commander in charge of Autobot City on Earth. Same onto the side. On the bottom, we have a little Prime, because obviously without the armor, he is just a white Prime. Very cool looking version here. Definitely one of my favourite legendary primes now, and they've got some new primes out, so probably thinking about picking up some of those as well off the back of this, but we'll come to that later. And then we also have another picture of him there with his smoking gun hand, which is awesome. And then on the back, it's a bit bizarre really, because you go for the front, and if you go to the back, it's upside down. I think they printed it wrong way around, so turn it round, and then we get Magnus facing off against Galvatron here on the City of Junk before he goes kablooey, kaboom, kabang, bang, bang. Here we can see that it's 15 over, box art by 2001, made in China, and then don't eat your children because they have small parts. He also comes with some destructions. The destructions for this, yeah, I'm going to be honest here, for the Prime mode, they're not great, if I'm honest. I had some little challenges, some little issues with it. I had to go and do a couple of pieces a couple of times really to get my my head around it, but we got there in the end. And yeah, yeah, they're not as easy to follow as I certainly would like, but they are in the worksheet format that I do really enjoy. First we check the box, now we check the bot inside, and what a thing of beauty this actually is. This is an absolutely gorgeous take on Magnus. When we look at the trailer, we can see we've got the wheels all matching. They're just on those pins, but it does all match together. The trailer is actually really sturdy. Obviously, it just falls to pieces when you have to take it apart, because this does become the armor, but it all holds together very solidly. Lovely silver and shiny pieces all over it. Classic blue on the front with the red as well here at the back. All the shiny chromed out stuff as well. Really cool. These unfortunately are kind of stuck in this position. They don't really do anything other than that. They are used in his bot mode as well, obviously, but the pegs that these are on, if I take it out, you can see they're square pegs, not round pegs. So even though it does have a little round port, I guess, so we can hold it, but no, you have to snap them in there, so they are just facing forward, so you can't get the angles that you may be used to get on it. And this bit also comes out as well, so we can check a look at that. But the trailer, it rolls very well. You can hear those wheels going even on here. The wheels are plastic, they're not a rubber, they're a hard plastic on all of them. The only bit that I do think is a little ugly, and I thought this about all of the way they've done their primes, is just this bit here. I know it's raised up a little bit, and all of their primes now look a little bit like this. It's the only piece I don't like. Everything else is absolutely gorgeous. These doors, as part of the transformation, if I can just get my nail in, both doors open, and you can kind of see inside where his hand is, but that's pretty cool. So you can even have a little door opening on the side as well, and that's due to the transformation, but it is something that is pretty damn cool as well. The other bit that where there's articulation is here, but you have to make sure that the bottom bit stays down. My big mitts have just destroyed the trailer by doing that as well. I have to tab everything back in. Now, it does hold together very well, but that was me being a bit ham-fisted with it. So then you can see the back of the trailer can come down. That doesn't reach the floor, unfortunately. But what you can get is you can get your little Bumblebee, and a little Bumblebee can go into the back. There's just enough clearance for him to get in. So yeah, just be careful with that. And then he can sit inside, so you can have a little Bumblebee. This is the only car I own by Newage, so Bumblebee will fit in there, and obviously Cliff Jumper will. Whether anything else will, I have no clue whatsoever. Comparison time now then, and first of all we'll compare him with Newage's take on Galvatron. So Galvatron is very, very big. I'm not sure how big Galvatron is supposed to be compared to this. Obviously bot mode, they are comparable, but in this alt mode he does feel a little bit big, if I'm honest. If you're looking for scale, let me know if I'm wrong here. Can anybody find me any pictures where there's these two scaled? I would love to see them. Bringing out Bumblebee again from the Legend scale, I do think that that's a good comparison there. Very, very, very good. And then finally, so you can see how he compares size-wise with some of your Hasbro figures. Here is Shattered Glass Prime. So you can see he's actually... the whole thing is probably about a little bit longer than Prime. Just a little bit. So now let's check a look straight at the cab. And it's got this nice clasp here. So although I don't like the way this looks, it does serve a very, very good functional purpose, which is to then clasp onto that tab here. So it holds it very securely in the tab. So you have to kind of lock it down and lock that piece in there, which then locks everything together. So overall, this cab is pretty splendid. I do like this silver at the back, very cool. That red piece there is a nice touch as well, and that kind of turquoise element, which we'll see more of in the complete bot mode. Pretty cool. So let's look at how this dude transforms. So the first thing we're going to do on this is we are going to transform the legs. So to do this, we need to bring them out like this, and then kind of concertina the rest of it out. So you just kind of go like that. So you separate it like it's a flying car or something. Then these knees are going to come in like this. So you can move that in. This one needs a little bit of repositioning because it's got to get past this tab, so you'll think it'll get stuck, but if you just raise it slightly, it shouldn't then get stuck, because it does have a little bit of a tab to go into there, you see. So now we have that down there and that one there. At this point, we're going to move everything out and just swing this around and swing this section around as well. Make sure this stays in like this. So you should have those two sections just like positioned like that. Then we can kind of unfurl this section and then do the same on this section. So you should have something looks in the region of this. Next up, we untab this section, and then you bring it around like that. So you should have something like that, and the same on this side. Fold those two pieces in, because that's going to form the back of the leg. So you can see how this is actually starting to look, because these two bits will tab in like this, and then this section here just tabs. So you can see how we formed the leg there of this section of Prime. Move it around, this forms the back, and then this side just spin it round and bring it in. So on the legs here, You see, you bring it down, you can just see where the tabs are going to go in, and then this tab is also going to just tab in nicely there on the side. For this, it's a matter of bringing it round, twisting it down, and bringing it round. There we go. Very, very nice leg transformations there for this dude. Next up, this tab here on the bottom needs to be brought down, because this is what's been holding everything together. There's a lot of tabs that hold this cab together. It's very solid. Then open up the doors. This is where you'll really need to get in there with one of those tools, if you've got one of those tools, or just with your nail if it will work as well. And you can bring this section up. Okay, so this is where the cab is now all open. These lovely windows can fold down and then fold down as well. While we are here, we can then bring the arms out at this stage as well. They will go out and they will also come out here. When you are transforming this, please pay a close attention to where these hands are and how they're positioned, because that is to allow everything to be able to maneuver around in here. That's super important to have the outside of the hand facing out while you're doing that. We're now going to separate the arm out, separate the arm out. This tab here will close in on the arm and close in on the arm. Okay, so then you bring this section forward and you bring this section forward, and this is the bit where for some reason to me this wasn't very clear in the instructions and took me a while to get. This whole section then rotates. All right, you rotate it round and you rotate it round. That took me a while to kind of get my head around. I don't know why, but I just couldn't work it out with the instructions. That was pretty complex for me. Next up, coming down to the side, twist and twist. So twist these two bits round, and then this section here then needs to rotate around by pull it forwards first like this, so there's a little bit of gap there, and then we will rotate everything round. So everything is starting to shape up a little bit. There's a lot going on inside this very small area. And I'm going to rotate this around so it's completely upside down from where it was previously. So both sides kind of line up like this. We're then going to fold this round and fold this round, but this kind of posts itself through. Okay, so you see that? The way that I've just done that, that again took me a while to kind of understand that these bits post through and then you come to the back and these just slot in. It's very, very clever the way that it does it, but the first transformation can be a doozy. Then this section will just happily then, I believe, rotate. Maybe not if that's not there. It'll happily rotate. I don't think it will happily do it. It will rotate, but I'm not sure if it's going to do it happily, unfortunately. Come on, let's do this. I believe in you. There we go. There we go. So that section just rotates, and then this, very similar to kind of a masterpiece, Optimus. There's these two bits, as we collapse everything down, bring the head out. These bits will fold in and fold in. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Bringing it down. Oh, bringing it back up. Just when I thought I'd finished. Rotate this section here. Fold it down. Posting it back down, and there we have, I believe, our Ultra Magnus with no armor on. Alright, so here we have our fully transformed Ultra Magnus, and he looks fantastic. He is such a cool Prime. This is what's quite inspired me a little bit to pick up the other Primes, because I just think that he looks stellar. He is an awesome take on an Ultra Magnus cab, and ultimately just a white Prime. Beautiful. Absolutely fantastic. The way that they've done the engineering on this, Newage are really killing it at the moment. Was it a pain in the ass to transform the first time? Hell yeah. But what you are left with is a thing of beauty. Newage are definitely, I would say, moving towards kind of mini masterpieces. They really, really are. There's probably some work they could have done at the back, and you know that for me, I do care about the back of my bots just as much as the front. Articulation on this dude, he'll do a full 360 on his heat, and his head will go very much all the way up and all the way back down. He has shiny, shiny, shiny red eyes and an awesome looking blue chest. And within the chest is, if you can get in there with your nails, the Matrix. Look at how cool that is, and the Matrix actually comes out, and you can see there's a little pieces of paint and engineering and stuff that's going on inside there as well. And then the Matrix itself is just a classic gold blue Matrix. Absolutely outstanding the way that they've managed to do that. Hats off to them. Hats off to them. Then the arms look pretty cool as well. You got the white, the turquoise, the silver on here, and the legs as well. Certainly from the front, look fantastic. Articulation wise on the arms, you'll go all the way around and out to the sides, and then you'll also get this funny rotation here. And then also, because of the transformation, you get this kind of bizarre little rotation here on the arm as well. So all the articulation you'd ever need. You get a very, very, very impressive piece of ab crunch to do with the transformation as well. Full 360 where you need it, and then the legs will go all the way out, all the way down, all the way to the front if you move the hip skirts, and all the way down to the back. Nice overextension here on the knee as well, and then the feet will overextend as well, so you get all the toe articulation that you want, and you get some swivel on the thigh. So all in all, this dude will articulate and pose pretty much however you want. Yeah, pretty cool. Can he ninja kick? It's been a while since we've tried this. Yeah, no doubt, no problem. This dude has quite a lot of accessories, but one of the main ones he comes with is Prime's cannon, so he can have that in his little hand here, so he can go pew pew pew, pew pew pew. And he also comes with a different set of hands as well. Both this figure and the Magnus, I believe, share hands, so he gets these kind of splayed out hands. He gets the pew 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 shooty gun hand as well, and all you do here is just take them off and put them on. Pew pew pew! But he will only transform in this with this hand or no hand. That's it. Because of the space within the cab, you'll need to use that hand to be able to transform him. Okay, so time for the comparison, and we'll start by comparing him with Newage's little take on Bumblebee. Little take on Bumblebee, obviously much, much, much smaller than Ultra Magnus here. Moving on then to Galvatron. So their take on Galvatron, aka Darius as they call him. This is the Toon version, or the toy version, sorry, maybe even the Marvel Comics. I think he was this colour in the Marvel Comics as well. He's about the same height as Galvatron here, that's pretty cool. Then also, if we bring out an Earthrise Prime, there's your Earthrise Prime. So once again, we now get to transformation time, and the transformation that we're going to do on this dude, first of all, is we're going to turn this ready to receive the armor. So the first thing we need to do is kind of separate this section here on this really strong metal bracket that we have here, and just bring these sections back down as we did before. So we get the arms out of the way and just roll those down. Once we position these down, we can take this section and rotate it back down to the bottom, because there's some faffing about that we got to do with some other stuff, and we need the space and the clearance to do so. So we're going to come around the back and we're going to pull the head out and shove the head kind of back down like this, and then this section here needs to go like that. After we've done that, we bring this section back out again, and the reason we bring this section kind of back out here, come on, you can do it. The reason we bring this section out is because these arms are now going to rotate back to where they were, because they need to now do something a little bit different. So rotate the arms back. After you've rotated the arms back, kind of bring them out here. If you bring them back here, they'll stay out of the way for when you need to do everything else. Bringing it back around the front, then we're going to just post everything back the way that it was. Re-rotate this section here and bring these wheels back up into the positions that they were before, to allow all of this to be smooth and ready to go again. So this should end up with something that looks a little bit like this, and we're just going to mess around with these arms next. So with these arms, we're going to bring them round, rotate them to the back so the smokestack is facing down, and then you're going to use this odd little bit here. Make sure that the arrows are facing up and the hands are facing down. So same again on this side. Hand, yep, and then down. So you should end up with something that looks a little bit like this. Okay, and he's then ready to receive his armor. Okay, so that's what you need. You don't need to do anything with the legs, which is cool, because usually you have to mess around with the legs a little bit. But that is everything that you need right here. So we now come to the trailer, and as same as every other Ultra Magnus you've ever transformed, pull the trailer to pieces. This section here will untab, this section here will untab, removing this. These two bits here will then untab at the bottom. You can see this is why it holds together so sturdily. Everything untabs. This section here and this section here untab as well. And then finally these two sections will untab from this section. So you should be left with something that looks a little bit like this. A big mess, right? That's what you want left. Just a big mess of stuff. We're going to start with this one, and I really like the way that this transforms. So the first thing you do is separate the arms here. They're all tabbed in very securely. Swing them around. This section here goes up, because that was just a tab that was being used before. Fold the hands down and kind of pivot this back on itself, and back on itself, and then the arm is gonna just kind of swing round on itself here. Yep, just like that, and then bring it round like that. Very, very, very cool. So again, just repeat that. Close it round in on itself, rotate it round, swing it down, and rotate again. And there we can see we have this. Finally bring the head of Ultra Magnus up and forward, and we can see that we have the top half of the body ready and raring to go. So let's just stick that over there for now. Oh, actually at this point we can stick these on here as well. So we'll get the rockets at this point as well, and we'll just add one rocket in there and another rocket in there to give it that classic Magnus look. Can't be Ultra Magnus without red rockets on the side. Then the feet are fairly easy to transform as well. Just bring it up and then collapse those together. You can already see that's pretty much a foot, right? Then untab this section, fold it down, and then fold this round. His foot will just fit into here. Fold this down, swing it around, push it back in. That will then make this all level. There's one foot done, and then just do the same on the other one. Bringing it round, snapping together, folding it up and snapping together, bringing it round, and then we're done. 2 feet are done. So we have the body, the feet, these sections here. This will kind of tab in to his hips, and then these will all fold down, so that's fine. And then these go on the legs. So that's the armor pretty much made, and then we can attach him to this now. Okay, so first thing we'll do is the legs. We'll work from the legs up. So all you do is push this out, foot goes in to the side, and then these just tabs on the back, because there's a big tab here on the back of the leg, and then tab in to the foot on the side here as well. So you should get a good grip on that. And then this just swings round and just tabs in at the front like that. And again, same with this. This tab will tab in there. So make sure that that goes all the way in. You'll hear it. It'll go clip in. That clips in, and then this clips in at the back. So there's his big stomping boots. Now you'll notice now his thighs seem a little thin. So all we do here is we position these pieces in. This bit with the slidey down bit goes on this side, and then the same with the other one, just to give him a bit more beef on his legs. Then these 2 tabs go into these 2 tabs. Up, there you go. Yep, down, down, down. So we can see he's starting to build nicely. Just lock it down with that. And then finally, up comes the rest of Magnus. You may need to fold it out slightly. These 2 tabs go into these tabs here, so you can just slide it in. There we go. And then lock down, and there we have our fully transformed Ultra Magnus. So here we have our fully transformed Ultra Magnus, and he is amazing. This is a definite mini masterpiece. He's a thing of beauty. They have put such care and attention into making this thing work. Painted beautifully, sculpting amazing, just cartoon movie accurate. If you're a G1 fan and you're looking at this and thinking that there's any issues with this, you need to get your head tested. Legends scale, absolutely perfect. Proportion, transformation, even putting the armor on isn't too challenging. I love it. This is one of the best things that Newage have released all year, and they have had an exceptional year. Looking at the head sculpt here, this is amazing. Eyes are fantastic. I would have liked him to have come with another head to give him that more of a sunglasses look, because if I'm honest, that's the look I really like from my Magnus, but hey, I'll give him a pass on that. We have those classic white shoulder pads looking awesome. Red blues as we go down the body as well, and then also the crotch is the white and blue, just your classic Magnus look. The feet are absolutely impressive. Really cool, more articulated than you'd expect. If I have to have one challenge with it, and I'll go into this, there are just some issues on the knees, which I will come to now, but other than that, wow. Articulation, head on a full 360 really nicely, arm on a full 360 here, and then you'll also get really nice knee arm bend here, also full 360 swivel as well, and you'll get a little bit of articulation here and swivel on the hands as well. For the body, you will get that full 360, and also, even in the body armor, I mean, you will have to make sure this stays in, but you will get, you'll get some ab crunch, but it does end up hovering, and you do have to make sure that this stays in. This is one of the weaker parts of the armor, the only bit that really you have any challenges with. Even these legs stay in fairly well, and I thought these were going to be a bit of a challenge. So you'll get the full 360, and you'll get a little bit of ab crunch there, but you have to just be careful with the hip skirt. The legs still move pretty well, even with all of this armor on. You get some really nice sculpt movement here in articulation. Hip skirts obviously are still the hip skirts, so you can still move things around. This knee is okay, and it will hold, but it feels a little bit weak. If I had to say which joint feels like it's over time is going to become very, very loose, I would say it's these knees. You can just see already, if I try and put them up, you can already see, yeah, they're already, everything else kind of holds. Those knees, these are very heavy, don't get me wrong, but they just feel a little bit looser than I'd like. I will be using, on this, just to stiffen everything up, I will use my bottle of Kiki Fix Loose Joints on those, and then I shouldn't have any issues whatsoever. Articulation on the feet was there. I was pretty sure we got some. Yeah, is there. So very, very cool. It articulates a little bit there. Very similar to your Ultra Magnus in Siege, but you don't have to have his feet always permanently like that, even in the trailer form. So they've done really, really well here. He will pose and hold whatever you want, wherever you want. And also, you can get to the Matrix while he is in this mode. Yes, 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 yes. Absolutely fantastic. Not even an afterthought. Fully engineered in there. Oh, I actually think I'm in love with this figure. It's beautiful. Of course, this dude does come with a lot of accessories. So the accessories that this dude comes with, first of all, extra hands. As we've already seen with the other version here, we get these kind of hands on this one. So all we do again is take it off, and then we can stick them in. These ones obviously will only work while he's in this mode. You can't have him in his truck mode and have either of these hands, which is a little bit of a pain, I guess, but you can understand why, because of the way that the cab is. He gets his pew 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 one, and then he gets his hand to give people hand or slap Galvatron. That's pretty good as well. Other accessories, of course, he comes with his double Magnus guns, 1 and 2. So he has his guns as well, fully posable with those guns, and he just looks ready for battle. He's going to look exceptional on anyone's shelf. If you are looking for a Magnus, there goes those knees again, but if you're looking for an awesome looking Magnus that ain't going to take up too much space, I think this is just a pure winner. So finally, let's check a look at some comparisons. First of all, compare him to the Autobot Bumblebee from Legends scale. We can see is a lot smaller, as we would already expect. Galvatron then, Galvatron is now going to be a little bit smaller as well, but I think that's pretty good. So then finally, next to an Earthrise Prime, we can see that he's about chest height. So final thoughts on this dude. Would I recommend him? If you have not already worked that out, then you must be absolutely crazy. Yep, I would definitely recommend it. He is an absolutely amazing take on Ultra Magnus. To think that this is Legend scale as well is absolutely amazing. Really well done to Newage on this one. He is absolutely bandabby-dozy. Super hyped to have him in my collection. I may actually pick up Delta Magnus. Let me know your thoughts on these ones down in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video. Alright guys, in a bit. Peace!